karma is thought because action is thought. Like, action is produced by thought. Therefore, at least expressions, if you change your thought, you change the action in the world. It was saying there was no,
Phil Phails at philosophy.
if I do something that's cognitively damaging, the beginning of that is a thought.
Can you give me a more concrete example of what you're thinking through?
Well, they talk about it in the book where they reduce karma to thoughts, not actions. And I guess in my mind, karma was always actions.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there is. I mean, if you have this notion that mental events are what cause mental events,
Mm-hmm.
then what is it that brings you the effects that you're experiencing as your karma?
Yeah,
It's going to be thoughts,
thoughts.
right? That's an interesting turn
But then you go, if
in.
we stop at thoughts, it's we're back to this 20 verse
Mhm.
document, or what if we stop at thoughts, what about the experience that the person had and influences from their life that then brought about this thing? It's like, where do we stop in the chain of events that brought the action?
I mean, I think that's the problem, right? Isn't that what Buddhists are trying to figure out, right? We're caught in this web of what seem to be a lot of unjust influences on who we get to be,
Yeah, this is the Thich Nhat Hanh, Call
right?
Me by My Name.
Right.
Like,
Explain this.
Have you ever heard that poem?
Mm-mm.
He says, it's a really heart-wrenching story where a pirate is on a boat and doing unspeakable things to the folks. And through that narrative, he starts a poem that's call me. I'm the pirate. I'm the daughter. I'm the fisherman. I'm the I'm the man on the island that pays these pirates for their bounty. He's through, he's all the people in the world. There's no, I guess my takeaway is there's no rhyme or reason to, we could all be any one of us.
Right.
It kind of gets to that Buddhist idea that the way you mentally trick yourself to treat everybody well is to see everybody as your mom because
Right.
were your mom at some time in a past life.
Right. And yeah, and on that fundamental level, not like your mom that you have troubles with, but your mom as the person who gave you life.
Gave you birth.
Yeah.
And it's a way to have compassion and
Mm-hmm.
empathy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a tool for that. And we can't not leverage consequences on folks that do wrong or over and over again.
Why not?
Because they'll do wrong again and might hurt somebody that I care about or that you care about. Like, we want to figure out a way
I
to
mean, is that
isolate.
about leveraging consequences or setting up protections? Those are two different things.
Yeah.
Because like one is I'm trying to shape your will to be something different. The other is whatever your will is, I'm trying to insulate those I care about from it.
Got you. One says out of the village.
Right.
One says be in the village in a way that the village will accept.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it, right? Maybe there's somewhere in between that's like, hey, if you want to stick around in the village, you got to do this, otherwise you're out.
But folks, some of them lack the right. If part of the village was walking on 2 feet and you had someone that was handicapped, it's easier for me to talk about these in physical handicaps because I'm neurodivergent, and oftentimes people will be like, why don't you just stop being that way? And I think, well, what if I had one arm? Would you tell me like to stop not carrying boxes?
Right. No, exactly. I think that's the problem with thinking about this sort of like how we deal. We're getting in a very different question, but we're
Yeah.
dealing with how do we deal with the unjust influences in our life as they come from other human beings, right? Like how do we
Yeah.
deal with the pirates?
The
Right.
pirates.
And one way is to say, well, we have to correct the pirates. We have to punish them
Mhm.
so that they correct, or we have to rehabilitate them so they
Or
correct.
so that other people won't pirate. We have to make it really
Right.
present, like, these were
Right.
pirates.
Or we create a deterrent, right?
Right,
But all of that is ultimately an attempt to control another being's will.
right.
That's
Well,
an
this gets us to next chapter, right?
which is what was the next chapter?
Is there free will?
Right, is there free will? Yeah, good.